Yeah, there is a pine tree out by between the curb and the driveway.
Yeah,
I
and
put,
are there lots of pine cones on it, or were there?
no,
Oh, you need some.
there's a lot of there's a lot of pine trees around Las Vegas.
No, it's thick with them. They must have thought they were natives or something. I don't know when they came through and built all these HOAs. The other thing that is very, very good this year, better than ever, is the number of orioles. Beautiful yellow orioles. I can see sometimes 3 at a time trying to get on a feeder for hummingbirds. That's kind of crazy. But 2 at a time really makes it. They balance each other. It's really kind of cute. But anyway, lots of wildlife and stuff here. Curious, I'll finally let you talk in a minute. I have a direct question about A, are you okay and everybody fine? And B, have you done any looking around regarding these murder hornets?
Haven't heard anything about it.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know. In my silly mind, I was playing around with the news that relates to the mystery seeds that supposedly are being mailed around to people when the seeds are from China, and don't open them and call the Department of Ag and all this kind of stuff. And it could be true. I don't know. I can't tell sometimes the difference between, I make up in my own mind whether it's fake news or not. And I was just wondering if people actually think that if they plant or hatch these unknown seeds, supposedly from China, if they turn into these murder hornets. And that was just a silly dream on my part. But so far, evidently, truly, the state of Washington has been able to track one murder hornet. It is something that started, I forget where they say they started, but they were first seen. Yeah, there they are. You are smart. You're getting really good at this. Woo-hoo! Yeah, there they are. I don't know. Jay was concerned that perhaps he had them. He has started a grape arbor of some size in his backyard to help provide not only some table grapes, maybe some wine, but at least table grapes and shade, a little shade in his backyard, which would be very beneficial even for cactus and tortoise and things like that. I mean, heat's one thing, but frying is another. So he's been working on this, and he has probably a wasp or a hornet of some sort that I didn't ever get pictures of, but he did have a picture of the hole that this varmint is digging. So that was that's kind of cool. So he fired off a text about it to some people, as well as email. And I don't know that he's gotten any answers. I wasn't copied on the answers if there were any. I also took some pictures. I didn't send them to you. They aren't that good. Of a very large one that I found, but it's definitely not marked like this. But I even took the measurements. I darn near hurt myself with a measuring tape. The wingspan, tried to get the wingspan on it. It was dead, of course. The wingspan, as well as the length of the body and the coloration. Now, I sent mine off to some people too. I never got an answer on that either. So I guess people aren't sure that this murder wasp thing is, or hornet thing is real. At least the people around here. Or either that or they're all on strike and just don't want to answer questions. It's pretty cool. So watch out for those things. And if you see something that might be it, be careful and document it if you can and send it to, I guess, maybe the Department of Agriculture, or even if you send it to M.L. Robinson, he will have had probably, yeah, he'll have 3 people minimum saying, hey, look at this, you know, and maybe people will wake up and start to respond. I haven't read enough to find out if there's a difference in appearance on the male and female. But the shape of this body is definitely the shape with the angry looking legs and everything, and the color of the wing is definitely the same as the one that was in my backyard. The difference in coloration is that the head on mine was black. Of course, it had been dead for a while. And the thorax was all golden. But it had been dead for a while. I don't know how long, although I suspect 12 to 18 hours, probably, because this thing was so big. I noticed it on my sidewalk from the inside of the house. And I know I watch my yard a lot, but it was a note. I said, well, that's a weird looking leaf for around here, and it's not a leaf. So that's my finding, not really my finding for the week and the reason I called, but watch out for this thing. It could hurt you. And it's definitely not well,
it's called a mandarina, mandarinia.
Yeah, and I'll be sure to remember that. I'm lucky I still know your name, Victor. I won't forget your name. It's invaded North America? I don't know.
So about how many have been spotted here in North America so far?
Yeah, well, so far I only know one. And I only know that, Queens in the Washington State, wow. Well, I'd really like to know the difference in coloration between male and female and the queen, and I guess they have workers too. Canada has them. And Colombia? Was that Colombia?
British Columbia, it's up in Canada.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
this article came out, well, it's brand new. It came out about 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Days ago.
And that's about the time when Jay and I both noticed these very large, we think they're wasps. I don't know the difference between a wasp and a hornet right now, but I could spend the rest of the day reading all this stuff and figure it out. But I tried to locate Joey Betzler, because I thought maybe out in the desert or wherever he is, he'd heard of him or know him. And I tried ML, and I tried Angelo O'Callahan, and a couple of those people, but they would wander around more in Arizona than they do here. So I don't know whether they, there's been any type of at all. Yeah.
This paragraph explains the damage that they can do.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You can kill off a whole brood of native bees.
Well, yeah, and the other thing that's interesting, although I didn't blame it on these things, I think I'm right in what I think. I have a large population of bees.
2 inches.
But not anymore. The bees were very, very friendly, and they went away when it started getting hot, and I thought it was just because it was hot. And maybe it is just because they're hot, and they find other places to go. I never did find their hive. I never found anything at all that I could say, well, this is the direction they're flying or anything. It's just that, in about a week, they were gone. I think it's the heat. I really and truly do. But it makes you wonder whether or not maybe, I don't know. They may be striped or blotched. Well, mine was definitely, the thorax was definitely not blotched. But this one was, the thorax was swollen. It looked like it was about to pop. It was so swollen. At least it looked swollen to me. And you could actually see a little bit through it, a little translucent. Very, very interesting. So be careful out there.
Something to look out for. Huh?
Yeah. We may be among the first people to identify them here in, well, I'd be the first in Los Prados, and you'd be the first up there. So, and I wish I could get a picture out of Jay. He's texting on his phone instead of taking a picture. I kept saying, take a picture. But that's okay. So that's kind of one of the hottest. Ooh, I should look for this thing. Ooh. I could mistake that for a hornet, a pine cone up in a tree, couldn't I? Better keep my binoculars handy. Papery honeycomb-like nest.
It's just like in some of the southern rivers, like in Mississippi and Alabama. Several years ago, there was a big story about a Chinese fish that was taking over the rivers. Do you remember that story?
Yeah. Did it turn out to be true?
Well, they showed videos of guys that were in their boats in the rivers, and the fish were jumping into the boats because they had become so invasive. This is the same kind of story. But this could be devastating to agriculture.
Yeah. This is this is not a good thing if it is true. And it appears from all of the stuff that you're seeing here, it very well could be true. I don't know. I certainly could have found, but I don't know a real entomologist here in Las Vegas area. I'm looking for a control here to get sound a little bit louder
There
too.
might be one in the Department of Agriculture office.
Yeah, yeah.
I get plant inspections every now and then when I have a shipment that's going international. And the last time I was in there, they had, they weren't actually working in the office. You had to make an appointment, and the guy would come in from home to do the.
Yeah.
And this was about a month or so ago. But yeah, we should be able to call into the office and see if they have an entomologist in there.
Yeah. We should. And
actually, they probably already know about it, I would think.
I know, but what bothers me is the Department of Ag over here, not too far away from where we live. Is that Department of Ag? AE still?
That's Fish and Game near where you are.
Oh, well.
They're
probably
very similar. I think Fish and Game, they work for the BLM. They're under the Department of Bureau of Land Management.
Yeah. We have to be careful with.
They're doing the agribusiness.
Make sure we're talking about.
Like the gas pumps.
Yeah. So anyway, a little bit about